All right, here we go with part 4 of our presentation video lecture on chapter 3, Persia and Greece. And this time around, we're going to look at Greek trade and expansion. So here we see a map of the Mediterranean, right? Here we see all the Mediterranean, here we see the Greeks down here. And the Greeks, we're going to notice all these blue areas, right? These light blue areas tells us the Greeks slowly start expanding, right? Into the Black Sea, which is up here, into Italy, into Sicily down here. And you also notice that there's Phoenicians who are also spreading and setting up colonies around the Mediterranean as well. So maritime trade was a big business for the Greeks. Remember, we said the Greek homeland, their mountainous geography, rugged geography, made agriculture a difficult thing. So that means they had to trade to get what they needed. So they would export what they did grow, stuff like wine and olive oil, and olives, which are natural, are easily grown in the mountainous regions, and they would import stuff that they needed, like food and copper and wood. And one of the main trading partners were the Phoenicians. And through contact with the Phoenicians, through trade, we see that the Greeks start learning from the Phoenicians. So they start, for example, building bigger ships that can carry more stuff, that can sail longer distances. We see that they start using silver coins as a currency, right? Because if it's a standard currency, that means everyone knows the value of the coin, and you could trade stuff knowing you're going to get a good deal or a fair deal. And most importantly than that, the Phoenicians teach the Greeks their alphabet, right? And the Greeks get the Phoenician alphabet and they adapt it to their own language. Um, and from there, it will evolve into the Romans will do this eventually as well. But the Greek alphabet, the Greek writing, we know of it because they wrote in the alphabet, thanks to the Phoenicians. All right, so the Greeks are setting up colonies that we see here, right? So here we see Persia, the Persian Empire, which we'll talk about. We see in southern Italy, we see the colonies in Crete, right? And over here in the Black Sea. So we know that the Greeks are going to start setting up colonies far away from home. And part of the reason is because of their population. So as they were able to get more food, their population started growing. But even then, uh, they couldn't keep, having this growing population. So some people were forced to go elsewhere. So many times it was like randomly picked, like, okay, this family's gonna go and this family gets to stay. Sometimes it was a punishment, like if you broke a law, then your punishment was that you had to leave the city and go live in a colony far away. So these colonies, again, some of them were up here in the Black Sea, some of them were down here in the Mediterranean Sea. And wherever the Greeks went, they brought their culture and their language and their writing and everything else with them. And many times the Greeks will keep a cultural connection to their homeland. So, for example, if you're originally from Athens and you move all the way, to the Mediterranean, or you move somewhere to the Black Sea, you're still going to have that close connection to the Athenians. You're going to view yourself as an Athenian, even though you don't live in Athens. So some of the more important colonies, right? They had colonies all the way in France, nowadays called Marseilles. They have one here called Byzantium, which is absolutely crucial. They have others over here in the Black Sea. We have Neapolis, which is modern day Naples in southern Italy. Syracuse, which is in Sicily. And also we have Ionia, which is on this coast here, right, across of the mainland of the Greeks. And the Ionians, Greeks, they're gonna kind of cause a conflict here, right? And they live in modern day Turkey, but back then this region was called Anatolia. So here's the end of the map. So we have the Ionians, you see them here, and we see all the other territories, whether they're Phoenicians or they're Greek, all these colonies set up. And notice how this big orange block of territory has come up, right? And that's going to be the Persian army, the Persian Empire. And that will lead us to a conflict between the West, and the East. And we'll talk about that next. All right, thank you for watching.